Hello, welcome to the Grand. My name is Joe Ferlo. I'm the director of the Grand Oshkosh, and I'm here with some updates, some fun news, some policies that are going to be important to you as you come back and join us this fall. And certainly I'll be here to answer your questions at the end. Before we get to the policies, just a little bit of an update about where things are right now at the Grand. And the fact is, you know, here in the arts and venue management, artists in the arts industry, we're not okay right now. You know, Broadway's closed till 2021. A lot of national tours are not happening. Performers are out of work. And places in our industry, places that would never close or never go under, now have permission to fail. And, you know, some of them may. So going on from there, organizations, musicians, backstage crew, production staff, we're all trying to figure out on a daily basis how we're going to keep going and keep our people employed and have a great show in front of you, the audience. The art sector was the first to collapse, and it was pretty brutal, and it's probably going to be among the last to come back. So it's important, even as we go through these policies, even as we go through things, that you as supporters of the arts, support the arts organizations that are important to you. Obviously, I hope that the Grand Oshkosh is one of them, but we all need your support. And anything you can do after you've got your cup filled and your priorities taken care of that will help the arts right now will help us. Because when the communities reopen, we need to be center stage of that celebration. And that's what we intend to do here at the Grand. Throughout the time, since we closed in the middle of February, we immediately went online and our staff began its work. And we have now 15 pages of policies and procedures that are going to help us towards our reopening. And we are now ready to go on sale with tickets. Tickets will go on sale on July 6th. That's Monday. They'll go on sale to donors. And I do want to remind you that donors start at $50. If you're not currently a member of the Grand, you can become one online and immediately take advantage of that window of time when tickets are available to you. The season lineup has been announced, and it's now on the website, thegrandoshkosh.org. We will have a digital brochure. It will go live also on July 6th, and all of the details, including many that we're talking about today, is important. Because of the way the season is structured and the uncertainty, there are no season tickets to be had. So what we did instead is we have an early bird discount. Anytime you buy a ticket between now and September the 8th for a Grand show, you'll get that 15% off that you would have gotten had we figured out our way to do this. So with all of that said, we're leaning towards our September 12th opening. I'm pleased to say that we've got a great group called the B Twins who will be here with us. We thank our sponsor, Nicolay Bank, for that. And right now, the staff at the Grand is figuring out the safest way to make that happen for you. So with all of that done, we're going to lean towards that B Twins concert. And these guys are twin brothers from Rio de Janeiro. They play electric violin and ukulele. Their show is a kind of mix of rock concert, dance party, jam session, and a little stand-up. It's they'll be your new best friends by the end of the night. And I really think that when it comes to having a celebration to reopen, that's where we want to go with this. So certainly sponsorships and donorships are going to be very important to us over the months ahead as we try to bridge the gap between the closing and the opening. And your help is certainly appreciated. You can still be a donor. You can go online to do that. You go to thegrandoshkosh.org and you go to the give. And believe me, anything you do right now is going to be very important for us. But all of that said, let's talk about what reopening is going to be like. It's we've spent a lot of time and things that weren't familiar to us, words like electrostatic sprayer and streaming technology and physical distancing. Those are things that have suddenly become more fluid in our conversations. So your experience at the Grand when we reopen will certainly be a little different. And I do want to say, I'll say it probably now, I'll probably say it a little later as well. We have to understand that the rules are changing daily. What I announced today could change 2 or 3 times between now and September the 12th. The idea of reopening is something we feel very important about trying to do. But we are acknowledged that everything we're doing has a plan B, and that plan B has a plan C. So we are shifting our feet constantly to make it work. So here's your experience at the Grand. The most obvious change when you come into the Grand will be the reduction of seating capacity. We'll be going from 550 seats to 223 seats. How does that happen? Well, thanks to this lovely little drawing from T.R. Carroll's and Associates, thank you for your help. I can show you. Here's what the seats behind me look like right now. Here's the Grand. When we put our distancing seating into effect, that's what it will be like. You'll see there are groups of 2, there are groups of 3, there are single groups, and there are opportunities all the way around. Now, we're not going to physically remove the seats because if we have an opportunity to add seats back, we want to be able to do it quickly. But they will be disabled. You will not be able to sit in them. And these will be the seats we are going to ensure that our audience members, their groups, their family units are 6 feet away from the rest of the audience. That's going to take some work on your part and on the box office part, as you can see from staring at this picture. You know, there are some groups of 4, there are some groups of 2, there are some groups of 3. If you have a group of 4 and the group of 4 seats is already reserved, well, then you're going to have to sit 2 and 2. And that's, you know, I wish there was an easier way to make that work. But the fact is, we're just going to do the best we can with the hand we've got dealt. So distance seating is going to be a big deal. Certainly, that's the wrong slide. We're going to be cleaning the theater regularly. We have invested in an electrostatic sprayer. We'll be sanitizing between shows for in the auditorium and the public spaces. You'll see partitions. You'll see hand sanitizers stations all over the theater. And most important, and probably the most, the controversial is that we will be requiring all staff, all volunteers, all audience members to wear face masks. They will be required at the Grand. I'm sure that that's going to make some people happy. That's going to disappoint some people. That's just the way face masks are right now. We have decided, after reviewing everything we have and watching what's going on, that the safest opportunity for people right now is for our audiences to wear a mask. So we're asking you to bring a face mask to wear from the moment you get in the door to the moment you get to your seat. Once you're in your seat, let's assume you've bought a beverage at the bar, then you're welcome to enjoy your drink once you're in your little sequestered unit. But if you're going to get up and move, we want you to put that mask back on. We will be doing our best to enforce it, obviously. I feel like the audience will probably self-enforce a little bit as well. And there's just, I apologize to anyone who is feeling offended by having to wear a mask, but that's the way we're going to do it here at Grand. I have to do my best to ensure safety and comfort of our audiences as best I can with the information we have available. Now, if you don't have a mask, don't worry about it. We will have them. Someone, believe me, if you come to the front door, you don't have a mask on, someone's going to come and offer you a mask. We're going to give you an opportunity to buy it for $1, which would help us cover the cost. But again, I don't want people to feel like we're trying to sell masks. If you can't afford a mask or you don't want to pay $1 for a mask, we're going to hand it to you. We're going to make sure that everybody has a mask on. I'll have my mask on. The volunteers and the staff will be masked. Again, once you get to your seat in your little units of distance seating, then you'll be able to take your mask off, enjoy your beverage, and enjoy the show. Again, you get up at the end, and that's something we're going to want you to put back on. And I know that some people are going to just be upset, and I also know that for everyone who's upset, there's probably someone who's grateful. Given the choices we have, this is the way we're going to go. So, plan on sitting apart. Plan on wearing a mask. And if that bothers you and it's not something you want to do, fear not. We're going to have options for you to watch at home as well. So here's some of the other adjustments we're dealing with. Our staff and our volunteers will screen temperature when we come in. We're going to make sure that we've got, there are certain places that we've looked at all the traffic patterns in the Grand, and certain places that are normally bottlenecks or high contact areas, we will disable temporarily. There won't be a coat check. Don't worry about it. You're going to have an empty seat next to you where you can put your coat. The drinking fountains will not be available. Playbills. We won't be handing out playbills for shows. Instead, we'll figure out, we're going to create digital playbills, and you'll be able, they'll be on the screens in the theater and before the shows, and you'll be able to access them through your mobile device. We aren't going to take your tickets. We're going to mark them. We're going to do everything we can to minimize the contact between people. Meet and greets after the shows won't be happening. All of this is in force for certain through the month of November. During the month of November, we'll reevaluate. We'll see where the world is going, and we'll look at policies going forward from there. But I can tell you right now, with the shows that I'm booking for the year, everything I'm doing is based on being ready for that 223 seat theater. The shows that we're selling for the season, we will only be selling those socially distanced, physically distanced seats at the outset. So tickets are going to go quickly. 223 people in the Grand is relatively easy to attain. So I would encourage you to get your tickets as quickly as you can in advance once they go on sale. Now, before you enter, I do want to say, though, I'm seeing the comments come in, and I think that's great. What I'm going to do is get through this presentation, and then at the end, I'm going to answer those questions and any other questions you have. So if you have questions, even if you think I may answer them, feel free to put them in the comments right now throughout this presentation, and I'll do my best to answer them at the end. So here are some of the other things that are going to be affected before you come to the Grand. This is going to be real important, and say it as clearly as I can because it's in force through November at least. You need to purchase your tickets in advance. We will only open the box office for will call. In other words, You'll have bought your tickets and you'll go to the window and you'll have it'll be paid. We're going to minimize the transactions at the moment of the show. So there'll be no walk-up sales at the performances. You'll have to buy in advance. Obviously, if you're experiencing any symptoms at all, we want you to stay home. Please don't worry about that. You can contact us. We'll figure out a refund option or hopefully give you a ticket for a future show. But we absolutely want you to know that you can stay at home if you're sick, if you've got any symptoms at all. We will accept cash, but we want you to use low contact payment options, credit and debit cards, or wherever you can, whenever you can. Again, face masks, and we're going to do our best to physically distance. There'll be marks on the floor at the Grand Lounge. There'll be marks at the floor at the box office. We'll try to keep people as distanced as possible. It's going to be really kind of critical. So we want to make sure that it'll happen there. Once you get to the theater, the main lobby door will be an entry. We're going to have, as you come into the lobby, those of you who are familiar with the Grand, there's the donor board, and then to the left, you go up the stairs and you go in the theater, which is our usual entrance. And then to the right, near the coat check, there's a floor level entrance. We'll be using both of those. The main lobby door is where you'll go if you have main floor seating. The auxiliary door by the coat check is where you'll go if you have balcony seating. Volunteers will be helping you. And if you need to go backwards against the flow, the volunteers will be stationed to stop the flow so that you can come back out. We're gonna do our best to keep people from bumping into each other face to face, and of course, you'll have your masks on. After the show, the lobby doors will both be exits. It'll be a little bit, my first curtain speech will be a little bit like a flight attendant, right? I'll be pointing out all of the exits you can use to leave the Grand, right? You can use the exits to the sides of the auditorium. You can use the exits straight back under the marquee. You can use the regular traditional exit out through the lobby. We're going to do everything we can to have people find their way out with a minimum of where we're going to go. And then we're going to, at that point, how do we get our tickets? That's a whole nother ball game. We're going to have, I got to find my slides so I get it right. Bear with me for a second. Here we go. So as we go on, obviously tickets are going to be available starting Monday. And we want you to be able to get those tickets in advance. Again, no printed brochure being sent in the mail. So the brochure will go online at thegrandoshkosh.org. There will be a printed information sheet. If you're a person who doesn't do a lot of online stuff, you'll be able to pick one up at the box office. We'll pop one in the mail for you. But we're going to encourage people to use the forms that'll be on the website along with the brochure. And obviously the brochure will be able to update dynamically as things go on, because there will be shows added. And I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. We will have the box office. I'm going to put this in front. The box office hours are going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 2 to 6. There will be a human being there to help you. So again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 to 6 p.m., reopening on the 6th. And we'll be able to help you there as well. Box office phone orders, we're going to waive the fees because, we want you obviously to have a low contact option. It doesn't cost you anything. Credit card fees likely still in effect, but you can buy online at thegrandoshkosh.org, and we encourage you to use the online option, obviously, as much as you can. Again, tickets go on sale July the 6th for donors, and they go on sale on the 24th for the general public. If you want to have that advantage of grabbing those seats before they're gone, you can do that also on the website. You can mail donations to us, and obviously any help we get would be perfectly helpful for us. Now, again, back to your experience here at the Grand. Some other things that are going to affect you is how we'll deal with concessions. It's going to be a bit of an issue for us because it is absolutely likely that there will be no intermissions on shows. You'll be getting home a little bit earlier. But we want to minimize that traffic flow. So if you want a beverage, you're going to need to get it before the show. If you're in the Grand Lounge, the suite seats, we will have beverage service there as well. But it's going to be very limited to how this works now. We're going to have staff around for each show. We're going to try to have a single payment option versus the option where you pick up so that the person taking your money is not the person handing you a drink. The menu will be limited. If it's pre-mixed or single serve, cocktail, beer, or wine, we're looking into it. If anything that requires a bartender to mix and deal with bottles, we'll be suspending early on. We're going to remove tables and chairs as necessary so that people can distance their way up to the bar. And obviously, anybody who's serving or working in the suite seats will be screened before they temperature check, so they'll be in masks, and we'll do everything we can, obviously, to keep people safe when it comes to that. So everything we're doing there is geared again towards keeping you safe. So you might ask, what are we going to do with all those empty seats? And this is where I got to shout out the incredibly creative staff we have here at the Grand Oshkosh. From the moment we closed, people have been coming up with ideas and things to do. So what are we going to do with those empty seats? Well, it is the Grand after all. So we're going to sell them. We're going to fill them with the ghosts. When you buy your ticket, we're going to give you an opportunity to buy a seat for a ghost. For $5 as an add-on to your ticket purchase, you can sponsor a ghost seat. You can sponsor as many ghost seats as you like. You can send a ghost family. You can send a ghost class. You can send a ghost anything you want to by buying them seats. And obviously we'll give you credit for that and as a donation. Our goal, I like it, is to fill every empty seat with your donations to ghost seats. If we can do that, that is 7,000 ghost patrons, and it's a real creative way to help us get over the hump. So I would encourage you to reach out to a ghost when you buy your tickets. Heck, you don't even have to come to the shows. If you want to stay home and watch on TV, watch online, and still have a ghost sitting in a seat, courtesy of your generosity, by gosh, we'll figure out a way to do that. So ghost seats are a big option of what we're doing now. There's a couple of other things that are real important that we aren't giving up on right now. First is the AMCOR Student Discovery Series. Obviously, like everything else that's touring right now, children's theater tours are suspended, and even were they not, we don't know how schools, that we serve 20 counties and 40-something schools through our Discovery Series, and we have no idea what the policies could be different from all of them, especially when it comes to putting kids on a bus and sending them to the Grand. With that said, we are working with our Discovery Series partners, the companies that tour the theaters, and we're going to have an online version. It's in the works. It'll be announced soon, and we're going to make sure that students and teachers still have access to those very important educational programs that we do. If we have a way to stream it and make it available online, we're going to do that. So keep an eye out for the Discovery Series and what's going to happen there. Speaking of streaming, that's something we're taking a crash course on, and we will be ready. Starting with B-Twins, we expect to have a streaming option available. It won't be available right on July 6th. We're still working out the details, but if you are either shut out because you can get one of the 223 seats, or if you have, just you want to stay home, as a lot of people are doing right now, but you don't want to miss the B-Twins or the Four Phantoms or Mallory Lewis and Lamb Chop or some of the great shows that are in our series right now. We're going to set the Grand up with a multi-camera shoot. We're going to have an option for you to buy in to an online, one-time only pay-per-view streaming version of the performance, and we'll put it on our the Grand at Home channel has been around now for, gosh, I don't know. We started it right back at when things started in March, I'm sorry, and it's been going on ever since. On Thursdays, I do Ghost Light Gossip right here from my seat here at the Grand. Fridays, we have cocktail hours with an artist. Saturdays, we have performances. That's been going on and will continue to go on right up until Labor Day. The channel will remain active as part of the way we're going to put content into your hands going into the fall. We've had some great performances, some wonderful conversations. And while we are going to take the holiday weekend off, we'll be back next week. And I'm so pleased you're hearing it for the first time right here in this presentation. A lot of what we've been doing with performances has been me calling in favors and asking our friends to help us out. And we're going to, it's been real effective for us. We have some good friends, and one of our best friends is going to help us. I am pleased to announce that we will have an online performance by our good friend, Mr. Jeff Daniels, who's played here many times and is a fan of the Grand, as we are of him. And Jeff will be doing an online unplugged show from his house with a 15 to 30-minute question and answer following the show. The questions, you'll kind of like what we're doing right now. You'll submit them in comments. They'll be reviewed, and then some will be passed along. And Jeff will do a wonderful show. This one's special for us, and so we will. I'm so grateful to all of the artists, but also to Jeff. You'll see more about this on the website, where the link is and where you can go. It's a $15 ticket to spend an hour with Jeff Daniels, and some question and answer time with him as well. So that's a big part of what we're doing, and we're going to look forward to that as well. Now, when you go back and look at the season, and you see the online brochure and all of the things that go on with it, you're going to notice that given the uncertainties, there are a lot of shows backloaded. A lot of our season happens after the holidays. There are shows though set up prior to the holidays from September on, and there probably will be more shows. To be honest, and in full disclosure, I'm waiting to make sure that we've got the opportunity. The B-Twins show is kind of a soft open for us, and we want to make sure that all of the policies are working, that we're not running into problems, and that the rules haven't changed in between. Once that's done, and I'm in conversation now with many artists right now who are anxious to get back out, and some of them have been on the Grand at Home channel as a way of introducing them to our audiences. Keep in mind that it's going to be a different sort of show going through the fall. There won't be any giant ensembles because they're not touring. I'm going to book events that have the capability of being successful in a 200-seat hall. That said, I think there's great music out there. There's great entertainment out there. There's great comedy out there, and we're going to do everything we can. But you'll have to stay tuned. You'll have to watch and follow away. So with all of that said, we still also have the Oshkosh Community Players, our partners, and the Oshkosh Symphony Orchestra. They have shows scheduled as well. Players have some online things happening as well as the show in the spring. The best advice I could give to you is to tune in online and continue to tune in online. This changes sometimes by the moment. So with that said, again, the tickets are going on sale July the 6th. I'm happy to do that to the general public on July the 24th. You can become a member right now, if you like, at thegrandoshkosh.org. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to give you a little preview of B-Twins, our opening show, and then I'll be back to answer your questions. So here's what I know as I sign off for this part is it's been 35 years that I've been doing this, and the rules have changed. They've changed a great deal. It's 16 years at the Grand, though, and I can tell you this. Here's what I've learned. This Grand community, the staff, the volunteers, the audiences, the donors, the sponsors, they are resilient. And when the chips are down, we're all here for each other. I don't know what's ahead. There is no playbook. I can tell you that I've experienced the drive and the willingness of our community when we were closed in 2009, 2010. People stepped up. We're going to need them to step up again. We're going to need you. We'll be here for you, but we need you to be here for us as well. If there's any questions you have outside of this forum, shoot an email to me. I'll call the office. No one's going to answer, but I'll get the message. And I'll call you back. If you're able to support us as a business, as a sponsor, as an individual, or as a ghost seat purchaser, please do. It's absolutely vital. I will lead this organization with confidence and high energy. I love this place, and not on my watch will we be one of the ones that close. But we're going to need your help, and I ask you most sincerely for that help and that support. I thank you for all of your support now. With that said, I know this presentation will be available on our YouTube channel afterwards, and you'll be able to see it there. I do see some questions, and I'm going to get to those in a second. But first, we're going to take 60 seconds, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what's going to happen when we reopen in September with B-Twins. Thanks for joining us. All right, let's get to your questions. They're good ones. I've missed some of these along the way, and of course, also some of you have taken some real time to help us to say some nice things, and I'm going to try to get those on the screen too because I like to see them. Thank you, Anne, for that. It's been interesting. This is a great question I didn't cover. Thank you, Dakota, for holding me to this. Spirits of the Grand. This is a great example of the can-do attitude we have here at Grand. There is no way that we can safely take groups of 10 or 12 people through the basement of the Grand right now and keep them distant. We can't do it. But we have a can't say no attitude, because what we're going to do is we're going to take the Spirits of the Grand presentation and we're going to present it virtually. So the good news is, if you're one of those people who could never do the stairs, this is your chance to go through that tour through the basement of the Grand for the spirits, to hear the stories. It's going to be a little bit of a, a walking camp, kind of almost a Blair Witch kind of quality as we take people through the Grand. We will give that entire presentation. It'll go online through a pay-per-view, probably that weekend that Spirits was announced. But we aren't going to say no. We're going to say it's going to be just a little bit different. Thank you, Jessica. And yes, Jessica, I'm going to shout out Molly right now, because we have an extern from UW-Stevens Point, Molly Andre. Molly's the one who came up with the ghost seat idea. So shout out to Jessica. We'll look forward to seeing Molly in person sometime. She's been a Zoom expert with us and is already part of this. The ghost seat idea is certainly something we and I will certainly go through this. I don't want to leave people out. I'm sorry, Sheila. I see that you're one of the folks who won't be willing to wear a mask. I hope you'll take advantage of the online versions of things. This is just this is the way it's going to be for us, and we'll have to make it work. I know there'll be people who do not wish to comply, and we'll look forward to bringing them back when those regulations are lifted. But as we go into September, we're going to have to make that work, and that's just the way it will be. And for the people who are uncomfortable, there are people who are. Again, I thank you for that. I don't think there's a question of how we were, whether or not we were going to do it. I was going to make a decision that was going to annoy some people, no matter what. So all I could do is, in a vacuum, take the best information I had available to me and make that decision. And that decision fell down in favor of masks. Lynn asks the question, are there any single seating? And I do want to say that, I'll refer back to the earlier visual that we had on. There are a few, and where it's going to get tough for us is we may have 223 seats, but if we can't accommodate people in a single seat, we might have to have 2 seats with only one of them filled. We've got, there's a lot. I wish I could say it was all cut and dry, but you know what? We're going to learn this as we go with all of you, and your patience is just going to be very important to us, and we'll go from there. So, well, yeah, it's always again, we can't do full capacity for a while, Rianne. So when the time comes, hopefully that will come about. Now I've been flipping up and down. My wife is just happy that I'm out of the house and not working at home. I think that's probably what the awesomeness is to this. So, but hopefully it's for the ideas as well. I thank you for that weigh in. Again, it's been a crazy time for us, and our staff has been absolutely fabulous when it comes to this. And again, I want to point out tickets are on sale to donors on July the 6th, and you can become a member today with $50 or more donated to the Grand Oshkosh. Certainly we'll want you to do that. And when it's all said and done, we're going to figure out a way. Look at that. There we go. There's a ghost mask. More marketing ideas. Thank you, Dan. Our marketing idea, the Ghouls of the Grand masks. We'll sell it on Google. We'll go from there. I can't end with that joke. I got to find something else. Someone make a comment. Please get me through that. Here's how you become a member and receive access to the Monday pre-sale. And we do hope you'll join us. So all things said, it's a wild ride. It's a roller coaster with no seatbelt. And we're in this together, and we're going to find our way through it together. I certainly appreciate your patience in working through this. I appreciate your patience in advance at the shows as we find our way through. Looking for the safest way for our staff, our volunteers, our performers, and our audience to find their way back together again. Until then, feel free to find me however you can. My name is Joe Ferlo. I'm the director of the Grand Oshkosh. I'm looking forward to looking out at you in this direction shortly. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, stay distanced, wear your mask, be careful around each other, and take care of yourself. Thanks for joining us.